How important are packaging machines and the way that these machines are designed for the food safety of our packaged products that we consume every day? This is one of the questions I'm going to ask to Tobias Braunegger and Peter Goltz. They are both members of the EHEDG working group that developed a new guideline on the hygienic design requirements for packaging machines in the food industry, and they're here with me. How important is it to design these machines in a specific way, in the way that you describe in your guideline update? Because the food, by the time it's packaged, is already finished, it's completed, right? It should be safe to eat, shouldn't it?
You say it right, the product is finished, but it's dangerous because there can also occur recontamination of the product. Packaging machines should also be hygienically designed, like the upstream processes, because they are in open environment and can be recontaminated by the production environment or operators or also the packaging firm.
Peter, what's your take on this?
For me, the packaging machine we are dealing with in document 29 are the last step in the processing. So we have an open step, and nowadays the packaging machine are also integrated in the upstream processes. So it's very important to have a stringent concept for hygienic design of all these steps. And Doc 29 is one approach to achieve this.
Now, Tobias, what are the technical hazards that packaging machines are confronted with in the real life scenarios?
The machinery is susceptible to all environmental impacts, like microbiological, chemical, physical ones. So all the hazards you also have in the upstream processes. And therefore, the packaging machines, it's not just packaging, it's also handled with open products and handled with food products. And therefore, the hygienic design is a very important point you should consider.
On which types of food does the hygienic design or absence of hygienic design of a packaging machine have the biggest influence on the ultimate hygienic performance, the food safety of the product?
The big trends in the market is that fresh products like meat or sliced sausages or delicatessen, those are sold packed and not unpacked anymore. And those are distributed in the cold chain. So therefore the hygiene requirements and for packaging has increased dramatically.
Now, Tobias, please elaborate. Why exactly have these hygienic requirements for ready-to-eat foods increased so significantly?
Because there you don't have another step for microbiological death, and there's no cooking, and therefore for ready-to-eat meals, you have to consider a very high value of hygienic design in your machineries to give this possibility that the product is valuable 2 to 3 days.
When it's crucially important to follow a systematic approach in communication between stakeholders, EHEDG often applies the so-called V model. Did you also apply that model in this guideline?
Yes, so we have made reference to the V model with respect to hygienic design, or especially for the communication between the machine user and the machine builders, so that systematically all relevant issues are addressed in the communication, and that helps.
Will it help these stakeholders to avoid making mistakes?
Yeah, it helps because by including the V model, we try to give a holistic approach. So the V model starts with the inclusion of the technical expertise early in the process and ends with the hygienic design risk assessment. And by aligning both parties on these requirements and best practices, it ensures a collaborative approach to meeting the hygiene requirements.
But who's ultimately leading this development? Who's in control, and what are the priorities there?
The process is defined by the customer, and the machine has to be adapted to the needs of the customer, and that is why the machine designer needs to understand the processes. He has still the principles in mind, and he need to alert the customer to residual risks that are still existing. Because if you make a perfect hygienically designed machine, you might be not able to operate this anymore.
Well, that would defy the whole idea behind the reason to develop these packaging machines in the first place, right? To have efficient and effective automated food packaging processes.
It's the most important thing that the machinery is packing the food and fulfill the functionalities, yes.
So, in conclusion, will this guideline help to strike a better balance between functionality and food safety?
You fulfill, in my opinion, both, so the technical and the hygienic requirements. And at the end, yeah, the winner is the customer who eats the food because the quality is much more higher and the price is cheaper. So by having both the technical aspects and the hygienic aspects involved in the development process, I think it's a win-win situation.
What is the secret of finding the perfect or the best solution for each customer?
It's always about compromises and having the principles in mind to find the perfect solution for the customer. Tobias, do you agree?
For sure, Peter, I agree. I agree completely. Maybe additionally some points out of my experience. So you say it's the OEM, the machine producer, always have to focus on the customer. Like you mentioned, Rob, the EHEDG has the special guidelines, the bacteria guidelines, the fish guidelines. So here are the special recommendations for the food applications. And now the machine applicator has to translate them into his own risk assessment. And this is what we do in this guideline, the translation to the packaging machines.
That's also what is in document 58, a hygienic design risk management process approach. So you can also use this approach to analyze existing machinery.
EHEDG is really digging into this domain of packaging machines now. Will there be new guidelines coming out? What will EHEDG focus on in the coming years?
Build up this guideline as a multitask guideline. So we make the second part, the thermoforming packaging, which we are already working at and will be finished end of this year. And go further with the tray packaging, with the flow packaging, and all these applications are same by meaning the film and the product and close it. But regarding the whole machinery, they are completely different.
Peter Gölz and Tobias Braunegger, thank you very much for your insights today and for motivating us to download this new EHEDG guideline free of charge from the EHEDG website for EHEDG members. If you're not a member, become one. You get access to all the 50 plus EHEDG guideline documents, very valuable content. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.